You're listening to The J with your host, Kennedy.
Yo, what's up, everyone? So we are in Pasadena for Power Morphicon, and this is a special Power Rangers Sentai collab right here, where you're going to see a lot of entertainers, talents that were on the popular television series, not just in the West, but also in the East, as this event are bringing the Japanese voice talent, not the voice talent, but the actors as well, and some of the talents that were involved with the whole production. So it's a special event that is near and dear to our hearts, because we grew up as fans, and one of our staff members, B-Boy Realm, is hardcore involved with the Sentai and even Power Rangers, working with the talents in America. So thanks again, B-Boy Realm, for hooking us up for this event. And it was pretty cool, because we got the exclusives, and it was very, very fun for this first day. But more days to go. Okay, everyone, here is the first one. This one features, you're going to hear the Uncensored with Karan Ashly panel. And then the next one is the Race into Space panel, and then the Karan Ashly panel. So definitely enjoy. Okay, you take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
But one of my favorite Six Rangers has always been Zane. I don't know the actor's name, but I love the character.
Somebody knows his name, right?
Justin Emo.
There we go. There we go. Someone had to know it.
I was like, you guys have it all at your topic right now.
I do a lot of things. I like to be interested in what the actors have done afterwards, or and I love some reunions just like anybody else. When you guys did Lost Galaxy crossover, the Power of 10 during Lost Galaxies in Space, that was amazing. But Zane was noticeably missing from that. Do you have any idea why he didn't come back, or what he's been doing since? Because I've never heard anything about him.
I'm trying to remember if we asked him or not. We really loved him as Zane, and we loved that character. We thought Justin did a great job. So it could have been, when you do have a reunion, it's hard to share the screen time with all the actors, even to give them one or two lines each. I'm probably going to say that we asked him and he wasn't available. I haven't kept up with him since, but generally we do try and get the whole cast back, and it's based on their availability. But we really loved him on the show.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah, super great. He had that awesome hair.
Yeah, well, he was the first charmingly smug ranger. Like, he played that role. What Jason Font did later, I feel like, as Red Ranger. But he played it so well.
He had like a Brad Pitt thing going on when we cast him. It's like Brad Pitt, so.
Yeah,
I'll have a little crush on him.
Yeah, good casting. Thank you guys, appreciate it.
Thank you.
What was behind the decision to turn Vulcan's skull into monkeys?
I think Doug has addressed that yesterday, but I'll share the story. I think that came from Chaim and Shuki making a decision. I think Jason Hall just got on his bad side one day, and he's one of those guys like, oh, okay, you're going to get on my bad side, I'll turn you into monkeys for a season. So I'll repeat Doug's story, is that it was so we said, okay, suddenly we had to write for monkeys, but the budget didn't include trained monkeys, so we got these discount monkeys. Couldn't really do anything, so we got down to the set. I would hate to go to the set when the monkeys were there, because I felt so sad for them. But we envisioned, we'll do all these wacky things. It'll be like Vulcan Skull and the monkeys. The monkeys couldn't do anything except poop and run around, and they were just not trained monkeys. So I think after a few episodes of that, even I and Jackie said, let's bring back Paul and Jason, and the show was much better for that. But that was that.
Thank you.
What was it like changing the show from like Teenagers with Attitude being like in school, entering into an intergalactic sci-fi show?
Well, I think it just opened up the show, and that was when we really realized that, hey, we can do whatever we want. We always felt a little bit like they need to stay in Angel Grove, they need to be young kids, teenagers with attitude. Once we opened up the whole in space saga, then that was very freeing for us as writers to say, we can do whatever we want. And we've done Angel Grove, and love it, and we'll always call back to it. And we got new villains, and we got, I loved the subcraft, and I was always so happy to watch the dailies from the subcraft, because it's like, that looks like so much fun. All the suit actors and Divatox, they're just forcing around. You guys did a lot of improvisation, and I know Scott Page did a lot of wacky voiceovers with the actors, so I think that just kind of busted open the whole show in a lot of really good ways.
Thank you.
There's North Island and South Island, both, I guess, relative size to California.
Wow.
It's a little bit bigger than California. Yeah. And in South Island, in one day, if you're, efficient, correct me if I'm wrong, you can see penguins and glaciers, and mountains, and sand dunes, and beaches, and cliffs, and rainforest, anything.
We need a Morphicon in New Zealand. What do you think?
Yeah.
Would you mind taking me? I would totally make the trip. That would be awesome. So, before we finish up, guys, I gotta let everybody know where they can find you. Everybody wants to find your social media outlets, your Twitter, your Facebooks, your Instagrams. What cons are you going to be at? We gotta get you more cons.
I'm gonna get more cons. I'm potentially a booking agent now. So.
Yeah. See, come to these things and they'll swoop you up. I'm telling you.
You can catch me on my Facebook is Ari Boyland Official. My Twitter is @AriBoyland, and my Instagram is Ari Ray Boy.
Awesome. How about you, Missy? Where can we find you?
It's just my name. It's not
It's her name.
It's nothing, there's nothing fancy. It's her daunting.
We won't hear you.
It's nothing fancy, just my name.
So,
He's
hello, yes.
Mine's my name too. But yeah, there are a few that are fakies.
They're fake posers. Tell them what the official Azim
The
handle
official
is.
one has it's a picture, me all blurry, and guys, you'll find it. Okay?
Well, what is it? Tell them so they can go there.
Yeah, Azim Rizk. Azim Rizk on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And I'll see maybe some of you in Florida at the Nick Hotel. Which I don't even know about that, but there's the Nick Hotel happening. And we have a lot of kids, we're going to have a lot of adults, lots of events, and different things happening in each ballroom / conference room. So,
Nice. All right, so we got one more question, and then we're gonna wrap it up. So we'll give the mic to you, sir.
This question is for all of you. What is the strangest fan moment that you guys have had? The weirdest fan. You guys have
You probably gotta feel it, Morphicon. Any strange fan moments? I think you got one. I know you got one. Put me, Alison. What is it? Well, very we'll act like we don't see it.
It just kind of scared me because it's my first time when I was with Azim and trying to figure out everything, and I look up and there's a living mound of stuffed animals in front of me. And I didn't even see the person, I didn't even see the face, it was just shiny mound. Did you see it? You saw it? Just a shiny mound of stuffed animals. And then this voice comes from the middle of the
Furries. Exactly. That's kind of the cool thing. Like, one thing I will say about cons is like the weirder, the better. Everybody You were 4 once, you know what we're talking about.
And he looks up and he says, "You're a Power Ranger?" Yeah. What do you think? Like, well, prove it. Boom! And that was my like, oh, okay, I need to
Welcome to Ranger.
Welcome to Power Rangers.
Welcome to Power Rangers. Thank you guys for attending. Thank you for watching Uncensored Talk. You guys are amazing. Tune in for more episodes. And everybody's Twitter. You see your Twitter? Okay, perfect. Find me on the Visual Karan Ashly. You can find Uncensored TV. My Uncensored TV is where you can find the channel. See you soon. Bye.
Yo, what's up, everyone? So, you just listened to 2 panels. The first one was the Race into Space panel at the Power Morphicon here in Pasadena. The panel featured writer Jackie Marchand and Marchand, I'm not sure, but actress Carol Hoyt was part of this panel. Then we had the Uncensored with Karan Ashly panel. This one featured Karan Ashly from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Azim Rizk from Power Rangers Super Megaforce, Alison MacInnis from Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue, and Ari Boyland, Power Rangers RPM. So we are going to end with one last panel. This one, we have more coverage. It's just for this podcast. This one we have the Pretty and Powerful panel. This one will feature Alyson, Suzanne Kiperman, who played Lieutenant Taylor Earhardt, the Yellow Eagle Ranger, and in Power Rangers Wild Force. Hilary Shepard, Divatox on Power Rangers Turbo, and Royce Herron, who played Miss Applebee on Power Rangers Turbo, Power Rangers Zeo, and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So here we go.
I create a character that's three-dimensional. Try to create a history for whoever she's reading for that person. The show, the training was very intense, and through my neck, through my back. They bent us like, we were dolls, and but the training, it certainly wasn't hard for her to do gymnastics. Only have her do things that she really likes. If she doesn't like doing it, don't have her do it because her heart's not going to be in it. And kids should never be pushed to do anything that they don't like. I don't have kids, but I act with kids whose parents force them to act, and they were not happy campers.
The other thing you need to tell them is to go in with no expectations of getting the job. Acting is a really rough profession. You get told no more than you get told yes.
99%.
And you need to go in with the idea of learning something new or meeting someone new and come away being confident that you have the talent for it. But really, the casting is done on the look. So
it's so interesting because I did a movie, my first movie was called Hunk, and actually Brad Pitt was an extra. So I saw it on Entertainment Tonight, and before there were stars, and I'm like, I think I was going in front of them, and Brad Pitt sitting right behind me in a bikini, and I was like, what the heck, I didn't know this. But I met Shuki Levy, who was co-creator with Suzanne, and he directed Turbo. I met him years before in a movie. He was married to somebody I was working with, and he spoke no English. He just said he remembered watching me shoot on the beach, and said one day I'm going to work with this girl, and he sought me out for this part like 10 years later. So you just never know where you're going to meet, or who's thinking of you. Maybe you don't get the part this time, but years later they remember you and hire you.
Also, too, I found out later they were thinking of casting me for Princess Shayla, not for Taylor. And that shocked me. But the last time I went to read, it was like 30 times driving 40 miles to go read. I'm like, these people are wasting my time, they're never going to cast me. And I was so tough in the read, they're like, oh, she's Taylor, she's not Princess Shayla. It's just, only have her do it if she really loves doing it. And if she doesn't feel like doing it that day, and you guys prep for it, there will be other times.
And just a general note to those of you who think you might want to If it's something you wake up in the morning and you can't wait to do, then you're an actor. If you wake up in the morning and you can think of a dozen other things to do, then do them, because you will be disappointed more than not in this business. I truly, I'm a little crazy. I'm 66 years old. I still do it. And my best money year was last year. I made $5,000. Because I have a little career. I'm a day player, folks. And you know, those people who make it big are beautiful women like this over here. And it's tough to get there. This is almost becoming a family business if you look.
Same people work over and over again. And what's hurt us acting-wise is that all the huge movie stars suddenly started doing TV.
Oh God.
So I go and read after the Power Rangers for the lead in the show, and they're like, Alyson, you did great, just so you know, we offered this to Jennifer Love Hewitt and it's the Ghost Whisperer, you know, shows like that, you know. The business has changed a lot for commercials. Movie stars, all these movie stars doing ads for the weirdest stuff, right? You're like, really, she's doing that ad? Oh, and her bank account is massive. Can't you give us, can't they give the jobs to us? But it's a really hard business. That's my mom, she's there. She helps me out sometimes with my bills.
My question is for Alyson. Where do you see Taylor after the events of Wild Force? Because I see her married with kids.
Really?
Married to Eric. It's a long, complicated story. But where do you see Taylor after the events of Wild Force?
Really funny. Someone asked me that yesterday. I think her passion. I think her passion was flying. Our last days of shooting, when I was doing, you know, the scenes with the jet, going back to it, that was really hard. And so after that time, I didn't really think too much about what happened to Taylor, because that was so bittersweet to like say goodbye and anyway. I feel like maybe she stayed in, and you know, maybe she had an affair with one of the men, maybe she got knocked up. But her passion, you know, from when she was a little girl, you know, what she saw Diana marrying when she was flying. I don't know if she had kids, but she's still doing good, and the Power Rangers help soften her up and be a happier person.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I got one. That's really low. Did you guys, did you ladies try out for any parts that weren't the ones you got when you went and auditioned?
It happened to me so many times. I did a really, like the movie with Whoopi Goldberg called Theodore Rex. That was the most expensive movie ever made to go straight to DVD. And it was really bad. It was about a bunch of, it was place in the future, and dinosaurs lived among people, and they jumped through cookies, I don't know, giants. So I went in, and the director was showing me all his plans for the movie, and all the sets and the plots, and I was like, I just popped out of my mouth, I'm like, are you high? Is this for real? So when I said that, he's like, you know what? Because I was going to go in and it's like, Whoopi Goldberg's sweet best friend. And he's like, you know what? No, you're more like the bitchy cop, I think. So that would happen to me a lot of auditions. I'd go in for one part, I wouldn't be able to keep my mouth shut, and then I don't end up with the bitchy best friend or the evil queen or things like that. So it happened to me constantly.
Those parts are more fun.
It's true. It is fun. It is fun. You get to just release all your entertainment and you get paid for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just happened to me this year. By the way, I'll give a plug for the show that I'm on. The Birthday Boys, because they're really great. They work on a shoestring. They're on IFC. sketch comedy. I do a lot of sketch comedy because I have a rubber face. But I auditioned in April for, and I'm now at the Driving Miss Daisy stage. You know, everybody likes the background. But I went in April for a role to play the wife of a guy who'd been cryogenically frozen, and they unfrozen, and I didn't get it. And I just found out last night because a friend of a friend did get it, and she's older than I am, although God knows I'm older, almost as old as God. But they called my manager, and they said, we really like her work, and we want to work with her, so we have this other thing. Would she be willing to do featured extra work? And I don't generally do extra work, but these guys are cool. And so I went in, and it turned into a recurring gig. I've done three episodes now.
That's so great. Yeah, that's the thing about acting, you just never know. I mean, a lot of times I did a guest star on things like, I don't know, Doctor, Golden Girls, Family Ties, Little House, and I ended up getting recurring parts. They like you, they're like, oh, you have good chemistry with, you know, blah, 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 and you can be the girlfriend. So they always say no part is too small. You know, as an actor, I would take as many parts as you can. I don't think extra work is a great way to go, because that really usually doesn't turn into real jobs, but that was more like a featured extra.
Yeah.
They asked for you.
Yeah, but anything, even 1 or 2 lines, you're starting out, just being on a set, you learn so much, you figure out how it all works. Just, you know, the director might see you and go, wow, he's got a good look, you know, or you just never know.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, what were the most challenging parts about your roles on Power Rangers?
Well, it was all challenging for me because I was a day player, you know, and I came in and had to be a part of the dynamic that was going on, but I wasn't really a part of the crowd. And so I felt a little isolated from time to time because, first of all, they would call me at 5:30 in the morning for makeup, and then I wouldn't work until 11. You know,
That sounds about right.
and so I would sit in my room. Thank goodness for Paul Schreier and Jason Narby, because they really, yeah, give them a really big. Because they went out of their way to make sure that I was okay and that I was having fun, and they would stop by because they're theater actors too. I'm classically trained theater actor. And if I'd had enough courage, I probably would have gone to New York when I moved. But I came here because I don't have the guts to be a New Yorker. But that was what was the challenge for me. First of all, I never got a script, so I didn't really know what was going on except in my scene. And
that's what we're going to, so.
So the biggest challenge? That's the question, right? For the show?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Doing the stunts. So, you guys see when sometimes we're running and then humongous explosions will be behind us. So those were very scary. There was heat, and often there were things exploding next to our faces. We never had an on-set medic, which is not legal, but we didn't. So we were like, I really hope I don't get hurt today. But they would say, okay, you're just gonna run as fast as you possibly can, and then you're gonna roll and fall there. And you're like, there's like a bunch of sharp rocks and twigs and sharp objects there. Yeah. And like, wait. So sometimes they would give you these big pads. Now, poor Jessica had a skirt on, Mary Keegan good, and then my pants were really tight, so you're like trying to think, okay, am I going to break my elbow? Am I going to hurt myself? This is a huge, expensive, explosion. I don't want to ruin it by falling like me. I would fall like Taylor would fall. So that was like a little bit challenging in that you want to do like a really good job and you want to look like your character would look doing your stunts, but we got her a lot. We got her a lot.
My character just yelled at everybody. I was so lucky not to do anything. I sent my minions. But yeah, I know. That was lucky too. And I didn't have to do anything but scream. But the people who played Rygog and Eldar in those giant costumes, they were stunt guys and they couldn't hear me. So that's a lot of the reason why I was yelling too. They were constantly smashing into things. So I was calling them giant Christmas tree ornaments and ANTs that kind of really were. They were just the poor guys, and sometimes I would turn around and they would be just on the ground, we'd be somewhere, and they would just fainted dead away in their suits because there was no ventilation in the suits, so they were hot.
Our stunt guys should be up here, not us. They worked harder than anyone there, and they smiled the entire time, and they were so excited to be there every single day, and they were wearing those suits. There were no special ventilation for them. They were just so excited just to be part of the Power Rangers. They were really awesome. So.
I have a quick question for all three of you. If you could choose to be a different character than what you were, another Power Ranger for you, like if you could go into legendary mode and be somebody else, and if you could be a different villain, and then if you could choose to be either a hero or a villain, who would you guys choose to be other than your own character?
You want me to start, ladies? Yeah, I was always envious. You know, I always thought that they should have done an episode where Miss Applebee got to kick butt. And I would have had so much, I didn't ever want to be in spandex because nobody wants to see this in spandex. Okay? But, you know, she could have morphed into, like, the super teacher. And by the way, that's the slogan on my t-shirts. It says, "I'm a teacher, what's your superpower?" And so you know, I think that she was an intellectual woman. She could have taken on one of those evil villains or one of the guys in the suits. Yeah, I think she should have been a superhero for a day. How about that for an episode?
I played Demetria at one point at Eagle, the twin, and that was really, really fun. I think they should have had some kind of like double screen where we could, you know, beat each other up or something. Like in Bewitched when they had Serena, you know, the good sister and bad sister, but then, you know, never worked. So that was really fun for me to be in a different outfit, like, you know, white flowing dress, and to be good for once. It was awesome. But that required acting.
I had time to think, and I'm still thinking. Like I keep saying, Time Force was really, really cool, and Aaron Cahill's character. I was so envious. Not all of you probably seen the Wild Force, but during our reunion where Time Force comes and we're all working together, you see when Aaron is on the mountain and she like, it's a cloaked person, who is it? And then she like takes the cloak off and she's wearing the most, sorry, there's things in your outfit. It's like leather, and she pulls this hood off, and then she just like has this gun, and then she slides down, and I was just like, what is my hair? She gets to do cool stuff. No, but I mean, she's an excellent actress, so she was so believable. But during the show, even though Taylor was not, you know, she was very tough and she got to hold the gun sometimes to fight, I would have liked to play a character who got to fight a little bit more and show more, I don't know, just fight more because I was the Power Rangers, you know. So, I don't know if that answers the question.
What did you guys think about your characters, and how
actors, how did you go about approaching those characters?
When you read for the Power Rangers, I don't know if you ladies have the sides for your character, but I have my sides here. You can see I have one copy left. You're not reading the sides for your character. You're just reading sides from a past show. So when you start filming, suddenly you get a script and you're like, oh gosh, who is this person? You don't know who they are yet. So you work with the director, and ours was great. Did you guys get directed that Koichi? Did you?
Yeah, I think I did.
Did you know?
Yeah.
He was spectacular. But you learn throughout the season who your character is, because for us, you get thrown into shooting. You know, you do all this training. They even had acting training for us prior, which was really funny. But you don't know who your characters are, so you're finding out who you are throughout the entire season, and they're changing. Like halfway through the season, my character changed. A lot of her changed, which I didn't like. But you just, as far as the characters went, I think we were learning who they were when you were learning who they were, which is what I found. Did you find that, or?
No, mine was totally different. Because I think it's because it was the movie, and they were using the movie to launch the whole new, season. So they originally, I think, wanted Grace Jones to be my part. Who I don't know if any of you remember who she was. She was this incredible disco singer, really cool, badass. She had like a mohawk.
She was a bomb girl too.
Yeah. So my part was really clearly written. I didn't know they wanted Grace Jones, but it was written. But what I always did is I was in the groundlings, and I did a lot of comedy improv with like Phil Bartman and John Lovitz and Kathy Griffith and Elvira. I love to improvise, so I had never seen the Power Rangers. I didn't even know what it was. I was like, I got lost on the way to the audition. I was like, gosh, I'll never get it on my father. Let me turn around. I went, and there was Shuki, who I don't even remember, but I pretended I did, and I just improvised. I just added. I could tell she was badass, and I just let my inner diva fly, and it worked. I think I distracted him. He was like sitting behind the desk, and the camera was there, and I think I just like hopped up on the desk and started strangling him. So I think that was a good tactic. He worked so much.
I'm so envious of you. I always want to play evil people, and unfortunately with this face, I always get to be this sweet. Because the bad girls are really the fun ones to play.
It's true.
You can play a bad girl.
Yeah.
No problem.
Well, nobody will give me the chance to do it.
Never say never. Never.
My audition was totally different because they were looking for somebody for comic relief with Vulcan Skull, somebody to kind of be a foil for them, and that was my position. And I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that I do have this kind of sweet grandmotherly face, and I am my day job, folks, is a teacher, and so, I knew how teachers act in the classroom, and they gave me the lines, and I read them, and I guess I was funny enough for them. So.
Did any of you take characters from just any classic movie, TV characters to take as actual influence for the character that you developed?
I definitely did. I loved Catwoman in the Batman series. I loved Julie Newmar. I was obsessed with her when I was little. I wanted to be her. So I was so excited to get this part because I just totally channeled that. So she was my idol.
I'm going to speak the names of actresses that you guys won't even know because they are from the 40s. But Marjorie Main, who's a wonderful, wonderful comedic actress, Mom and Pa Kettle were her films. You girls probably don't even know who these are. And Jane Darwell, who if you saw Mary Poppins as a child, she was the bird lady. Oh. So those and wrote songs for me, and I try to infuse that kind of, they had really special energy, so that's what I try to do when I'm working.
For Taylor, I'd like to say I did. I grew up watching a lot of TV. I'm like almost legally blind. I have contacts on because I watch so much TV and I love film. And I love watching actors because my parents worked, so I was by myself quite a bit watching TV, and these shows, they take you to a different world. They keep you company, right? Actors, so many influenced me, and there are so many amazing actresses who are so strong. Yesterday I said Meryl Streep, but that's kind of obvious, right? There are so many. I mean, Taylor, I played pretty tough female characters before Taylor, and I probably took that from, took pieces of those characters and brought it to Taylor. There's any questions? We all say the answer we today. And you guys listening to people talk for 3 days.
I just want to say something to you fans. I have a small career, and most of the stuff that I do, and I love it, believe me, I don't complain because I get to do what I love, are one-word things like, wow, or, and sometimes I wind up on the cutting room floor, and that's okay too. But every 2 years when I come here, and you say to me, you were my favorite teacher, I wish I could have been in your classroom, I really enjoyed the show. That's a very, very special thing. And I want you to go away from here this weekend knowing that Miss Applebee loves each and every one of you because you've given me something that's becoming more and more important to me as I grow older. And as I said earlier, I am 66. So you give me a little piece of immortality because you remember me. And that is something that an actor craves and doesn't often get. And I want to thank you for that very much and give you a big round of applause.
Okay, so I'll make this the last question, but it kind of follows on from what you just said. What were your lasting memories of the show? What have you taken away from it?
Saying goodbye to some of the crew, because we work with people 12 hours a day for 9 months. Just their faces and the fun times and, trying to stay silly and positive. We had 2 hours of sleep. You're like trying to stay awake. The last week and 2 weeks were so hard, because that's sort of like your character, and it was just, you just realize how grateful you and how lucky you were to be doing what you love and your passion, and having given the opportunity to play such an amazing character that these people spend hours and hours every day writing and creating for you guys, and that they chose us to play those parts. Most Rangers are actors, and there are so many of us, and for a lot of Rangers, that's sometimes the last really great job that people ever play. And the last few days were just really beautiful and special. And I don't know how for you ladies, but when you're saying goodbye to the Power Rangers, you're just like, I was really lucky.
Yeah, I never felt that way. I felt like you talked. I went on to be on Star Trek Deep Space Nine. I did a lot of work after that, but I had my second baby, and I knew because I would take Scarlett to the set with me. She's like now 17, and she's a model. We're crazy, but I knew I was going to lie down because I was really kind of going to be a mother and I didn't have any, I didn't really have any help, so I knew that was going to be probably my last great part, and it was that. It was so much fun, and I loved that character, and I'll always miss it. I loved it.
And for me, it was just the fact that it was a learning ground. It was the opportunity to find out how to, because believe me, I started my career in musical comedy. You know how big and broad that is, girls. And trying to narrow down, to tiny down, to learn how to work in a camera. And, again, I'll pause saying, Elon, I don't know why you liked me, because, big players, you come in and they just want you to do your work so that they can get the shot and they can move on. But Elon took time with me and really made it possible for me to make the transition from stage to film. And I'm grateful to the end of my days for that.
This is for Hilary. Could you really quick shout Viva Diva for us?
Viva la Diva!
And what was your favorite moment as Divatox? What was your favorite thing about being Divatox?
I think, I was the only villain to ever actually blow up the chamber. So
Actually, didn't Reno and Goldar also blow up the chamber?
Did what?
Yeah, well, it rebuilt itself.
Yeah, that's true. Well, then maybe I was after the first one.
You could have
Okay, great. Thank you to all our panelists.
Thank
Give
you.
a round of applause.
Have a great evening.
Other teacher in the middle.
That was a good one. I saw that.
Someone smells very good.
Yeah.
It's old school. It's called Taboo from the 60s.
Very yummy. Sorry.
Thank you very much.
Look at my mommy cake.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Mama. I love the Mama. My daughter calls me.
Okay, everyone, you take care, and I'll see you later. Wink, wink, and
Follow the J. ラジオポッドキャスト on YouTube and also visit Kennedy on YouTube. For Japanese entertainment news, please visit neotok2099.com. See you next time. Bye bye.
いいパンチだったぜ。